Memphis Commercial Appeal here. For you, Zach Kleiman was speaking earlier about you may have had some better opportunities, so to speak, out there financially, but you decided to come to Memphis. Just what mostly intrigued you about the opportunity being able to play on this roster, and kind of what have you made of your teammates as you've kind of gotten a little bit of time to get to know them?
I think mainly just a basketball opportunity. I think my game is kind of the one thing they were looking for this summer, and I think you kind of always want to go where you're wanted most. And coaching staff, Zach, a lot of really, really good people here, and a really good culture, and somewhere where you can grow and build individually together. I think that's what's most important in this. And so far, I think I've just been pleasantly surprised with everybody's work ethic. I don't even want to say surprised, but everybody, works really hard. The culture is kind of exactly what I thought it would be when I made a decision to come here, and all that is just super exciting.
Schematically, how do you think you fit with what Tomas wants to do this season?
I think super well. I think that was, like I said, part of the reason I came here. Just the ability to push the ball, make quick decisions, kind of, playing a ton of ball screens. It's really what I do. So.
And then last year was obviously a big season for you, and best numbers of your career. What sort of went into that? What do you think you contribute that to, and how do you carry that into this season?
I think health. I think it was I stayed healthy. If you look at my previous years, just a smaller sample size, but the numbers have always been somewhat similar. So I don't think it was like, if you're really paying attention, it wasn't like, it shouldn't have been a shock to anybody. But I think it was just health. I played 70 games finally, and stayed healthy. So just taking care of my body, doing all that's necessary, and getting better every day.
As a competitor from another team, what's it like to come in now and play with a player like Ja Morant?
Oh, it's awesome. Just seeing how, obviously there's nothing that I really was surprised about. We've been playing against each other. We were the same draft class, so I've been playing against him for the last 7 years of our NBA careers. And, we went to Chris Paul camp together when we were in college, so we've been kind of going at it for a long time. And so nothing that I'm really surprised by that I see now in the gym, but just to have that, take pressure off me, obviously, when I'm on the court with him, and do vice versa for him. So it's exciting to play with someone that's that dynamic and draws that much attention. Can get everyone else easier looks, can get us going as a team. I mean, you guys know what type of player he is, so it's definitely exciting.
Ty right here in the back. Matt and Field with Actually Who's 5 here in town. Welcome to Memphis. You were with one of the best teams in the NBA last season, so you know what it looks like. When you were talking with Zach and Tomas this summer about coming here, what gave you confidence and I guess the bones of the operation here that this team could achieve similar success, if not this season, at some point in the near future?
Yeah, I think like you said, it's not going to happen overnight, and but it's the vision, the culture that you establish, and that starts obviously top down, and it has to trickle down to the players, and eventually it has to become player led. But the culture, the vision that the coaches have, how focused and driven you have to be to get to that point and then sustain that success. I think that's really the key, right? You don't want to, have a great regular season and fall off in the playoffs, or have a great year and not do it again. You want to try to build success you can sustain, and that comes with a culture that everyone follows. And I think speaking to Zach and speaking to Tomas, they have that vision, and they understand the steps that you need to take to get there, for everyone to get better individually, collectively, and all the above.
Chris? I feel like we jumped right into it. Can you just give us maybe more of your origin story, how you fell in love with the game, and maybe who you modeled your game after growing up?
Oh, for sure. Both my parents played basketball, so when I was born, my dad was coaching high school. So they both loved it. I was always around it. There's pictures of me like 1-2 years old, running around, dribbling 2 basketballs. So just something I was really born into it, honestly, and I always loved it. I always enjoyed it. And the one guy I would say that I probably watched the most as a kid is probably Steve Nash.
DeMichael.
Ty, we've seen you kind of play on and off the ball, in numerous spots throughout the course of your career. Can you kind of give us an explanation for you from what's your comfortability in terms of like playing alongside of a Jod, Scotty, whether it's playing the one, playing the two, and kind of playing in those kind of dual combo guard lineups?
Yeah, I mean, all the above. Last year it was either me and Donovan or me and Darius Garland on the court at pretty much all times until, unless one of us was not playing or injured. So I was playing with those. We were playing with those two guard lineups all year last year. It just makes the game a lot easier. A lot of teams are diving into like ball pressure, and if you only have one ball handler out there and you can kind of take that person away, it's easier for the defense. When you have multiple ball handlers, multiple creators on the floor, we got Jaren and Santi that can attack from the 4 position. Like, it just makes the game a lot easier where you can play faster, you can play with more space. One person doesn't have to think; they always have to be the creator, and it just makes the game easier for everybody.
Drew.
What are your early impressions of the city? What's it like to move here and be part of this community?
I like the city. I actually do. Seems like a blue-collar city. It seems like a city that will rally behind a team that is competitive, and seems like, obviously from playing here as a visitor, I've been here when the building has been absolutely rocking, and that's when these Memphis teams have been really good. So I think it seems like if we're good, people will really care, and that's all you can ask for.
DeMichael.
Ty, take us through your shot diet. You look at your numbers and things like that. Like, of course, you're a very efficient three-point shooter, but your best work seemed to come, with your floater, getting into the paint and things like that. Just for you as a player in the NBA, we hear a lot of coaches talk about more threes and, shots in the paint. How do you kind of get to your spots? What's your idea of a good shot, in the NBA?
I think you got to take what the defense gives you. Obviously, a catch and shoot open 3 is a great shot. The best shot is a free throw. Next best shot is a layup. Next best shot is a wide open corner 3, and you kind of build it out from there. Now defenses are trained to today's game usually to give up a mid-range shot. So if you're making that at a very high clip, it's a good shot for that person.
Any other questions? DeMichael, one more.
I guess piggybacking off of that, with your three-point shot, do you feel like in Memphis this will be a place you want to shoot more, or is it as simple as, taking what the defense gives to you, given the situation that, they lost to Desmond Bane, Luke Kennard, guys that shot a lot of three-pointers?
Yeah, I think it's taking what the defense gives me. At the end of the day, you can't be someone else. I can't be Desmond or Luke, but, what I bring is, it'll just take what the defense gives you. It's really how you have to play basketball. There's no other way to play basketball.